Today we've got setups on the Great British Pound Canadian Dollar currency pair and the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. Welcome back to our channel. Today we'll look at a trading range on the Great British Pound Canadian Dollar and a wind-up triangle on Bitcoin. But first, we've got a few active trades to check out. Later on, this week's trading maximum. Happy Monday, everyone. I apologize for my video schedule last week. I kind of got sick, and I was kind of unable to function for a few days. But I'm back this week, and I'm ready to go. Let's catch up on the active trades. The cryptocurrency graph popped up and just hit my trailing stop right to the tick right there. And then it dropped, so I'm out with a profit of $21.74 on the second half. Now I'm going to cheat a bit and show you my next setup on this. Actually, I was only going to share this with the Comcash alert people. I'm going to let you in on the secret. Right here is a trading range, and that's going to be a setup on the Comcash alerts app this week. And that'll be your freebie for today. RCL hit the first target right here. We got half off. Move the stop to break even right here. Now we're just waiting for this. It's pushed down. Even if it does come down here and hit this, we'll still have some nice profit on this trade. But if it doesn't, we'll be in the money. In any case, we've got a winner here, and we'll see where it goes. So DogeCoin pulled down here and came very, very close to my break-even trailing stop, but it didn't take me out. In any case, it's winding up right here, and it's going to break one way or the other. We'll see how it goes. As I said, I'm still in this one. And that's all the active trades for today. Let's take a look at today's trade picks. Our first setup today is a trading range on the Great British Pound Canadian Dollar, affectionately known as the Pound Loonie. Just to be sure everyone's with us on this, trading range is a consolidation with a strong support level like this one at 170.10 and a strong resistance level like this one at 171.70. Price just sort of bangs back and forth between these levels until it eventually explodes out of the range in one direction or the other. I'll take a break of a trading range in either direction. And as a nice confirmation of the consolidation, we have a decline in volume and volatility right down here. Volatility is the amount of daily movement of the price, and I measure it with the average true range, or ATR. And here's the trade plan. We're going to buy a daily candle close above the range or above 171.70, or we will sell a daily candle close below the range or below 170.10. On the breaking candle to enter a full size position, we want to see the volume bar reach the volume average right there. If it doesn't quite reach the average but does reach 75% of the average, I'll open a half-size position to reduce risk. You can calculate the percentage by dividing the volume right here by this volume average, and you should get 0.75. If you don't get at least 0.75, I suggest that you stand aside on the trade. The stop loss on this trade is 1.5 times the ATR, and the first target is 1 ATR. So let's say that this thing breaks to the upside, and just ahead of the close, you set up a buy order. You look down here at the ATR, you multiply that by 1.5. You measure that distance behind your entry, and that's your stop loss. You measure 1 ATR above the entry, and that's your first target. Of course, it's just the opposite if it breaks to the downside. If after entering the trade, you get a candle close back inside the range, I suggest you take the loss right then, not wait for it to hit the stop loss. A breakout of the pattern should be explosive and hit the target fairly quickly. If not, and the momentum goes away, we want to shut the trade down without taking a full stop if possible. When the price hits our first target, we'll close half the position for profit and set the stop loss to break even on the remainder. We'll then follow stops as price moves in our direction until the market takes us out. I will only risk about 2% of my account on each trade. And that's today's setup on the pound loonie currency pair. Our second setup today is a triangle on the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. Those who've been around a while will recognize this pattern, but I've added a little bit of info to the chart that I want you all to watch. This purple line down here represents very strong support at 3,100. You can see it better on this chart. Notice that this has hit this level quite a bit down here, and then we have this very long wick, and wicks represent price rejection. So the price came down here and a whole lot of people pushed that thing back away from that, which means there are lots of buy orders down here. Now the reason I brought this to your attention is if price gets down to this level, you want to consider either taking some profit or closing your trade out completely right there. This is well below the first target. First target's right in there somewhere. So you should have your stop at break even by the time price gets down to that level. When it gets down there, you may want to just take the whole trade off at that point. Now, just to make sure everyone's on the same page here, triangle consists of an ever-tightening wind-up of the price into a triangle pattern like this. And I expect a triangle pattern to break in either direction. So I'm willing to take a buy or a sell signal from this pattern. And as before, pattern is confirmed with a decline in volume and volatility. And again, I measure the volatility using the ATR. So here's the trade plan. We're going to buy a daily candle close above the triangle, or we will sell a daily candle close below the triangle. Now, I'm not going to bore you with that whole spiel again. The management details on all my trades are identical. If there's at least average volume, enter a full-size position. If there's at least 75% volume, enter a half-size position, otherwise stand aside. Stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR. First target is 1 ATR. If you get a candle close back in the flag after you enter the position, close the position and take the loss. Get half off for profit when it hits the first target. Move the stop to break even on the remainder. Again, I'll only risk 2% of my account on this trade. And that's today's setup on Bitcoin. Okay guys, this is how I manage these trades. You do you, okay? Make sure you don't take any trades until you understand what you're doing and you're comfortable with the setup. And of course, the other side of trading is the psychological side. And to keep a handle on that, I use my trading maxims. A maxim is a general truth, fundamental principle, a rule of conduct, or a proverbial saying. You guys know the deal. Use whatever tools you need to help you maintain discipline, because discipline and consistency in everything are paramount. And today, Tim's trading maxim number 5, a line is never just a line, it's always a zone. Now, if you stick around enough, you'll hear me say this a lot. A support or resistance line is never to the tick or to the pip. Price can push through and bounce and can even reverse before actually touching the line. So don't worry about getting your lines in exactly the right place, and don't set your stops and limits too close either. Okay, I can hear a bunch of you mumbling in the back. How close are we talking about? 2 pips, 5 pips, 20 pips? And here is my great answer. Well, that depends. I know you want me to give you exact numbers, but it's not going to happen. It depends on the time frame. It depends on the current trade volume. It depends on how the smart money traders are feeling that day. There is no firm answer. You just have to eyeball it, so to speak. And of course, what will give you the experience you need to eyeball it? Practice. Look at a bunch of charts. Draw a bunch of lines. Get stopped out because you're too close a bunch of times. You know, that's kind of my answer to all this. Practice. It's definitely worth the time. Remember our pound loonie trade plan for today. We're going to buy a daily candle close above the range or above 170, 170, or we'll sell a daily candle close below the range or below 170.10. And our Bitcoin trade plan for today, we're going to buy a daily candle close above the triangle, or we're going to sell a daily candle close below the triangle. For both trades, take a full-size position if you've got average volume or better, half-size position if you've got 75% average volume or better. Your stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR, and your first target is 1 ATR. And that, my friends, is all for today's video. Come back Wednesday, Friday, and next Monday for additional videos. They come out at 3 p.m. New York time, barring unforeseen circumstances. And don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have. Remember, the only stupid question is the unasked one. If this video helped you, click the like below, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to be notified of our videos in the future. Have a great week, and I'll see you on Wednesday.